Lambos, $1,000 dinners, $1 million penthouses, all the honeys. Everyone knows that's what trading is all about. All right guys, I'm just kidding. So in all seriousness, you don't need any of that stuff to find success trading. And what you'll find is a lot of times simple is better. I'm sure you've seen YouTube videos before where you see these crazy setups and you have like 18 monitors here and like everyone's like standing in front of the screen creating a winning trade and fist pumping, and it's really not about that at all. Just for some context, I've been trading for half a dozen years plus. As a certified financial planner before I was doing that. I run my own hedge fund now, and this is my setup. Notice that it's just a laptop. There's no fancy monitors here. I will likely get more monitors at some point, but it's more of a convenience. You don't see anything fancy about this layout, and we're gonna talk about what I like to spend money on and what that lifestyle is like, but I can tell you right now, I still live off of about $5,500 a month, despite the fact that doing a couple million plus a year. And what you'll find is that what this lifestyle and trading is built up to be, it could be those things if you really want it to, but for most people, it's about creating just a little bit of extra income, and you don't need all that fancy stuff to be able to do that. So I'm gonna show you exactly what you need. We're gonna sneak over to my desk. I'm gonna sneak under this spotlight here so Joe can make fun of me, my video editor. Say hi to Joe. He'll be sure to jump in, and I'll just kind of run you through what a day-to-day actually looks like as a professional trader. And really you can structure this however you want, but my days start somewhere around 6:30 in the morning. Some people do the whole workout thing early in the morning. I am not that person. I like my most productive hours are in the morning. That's where I do a lot of my prep. And what I'm gonna do is run you through the kind of prep that I do on a day-to-day basis, what maybe an average trading day would look like, how you can approach that, and then what you can do with the rest of your time, what you can spend money on, and what that actually looks like just from my life and what you can create on it with yours as well. So we're gonna take a peek at the screen here, and I'm gonna run you through just what my daily plan looks like. All right guys, so here's a peek at my charts, and this is just from December 16th, so not that long ago. I'll kind of run you through my daily checklist, things that I look for, and what a day-to-day basis looks like. And what you'll find is that it doesn't need to take a ton of time or a ton of energy to actually make good money trading. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We're going to talk about some of them today. But one of the reasons, like one of the questions I get a lot is, hey, why do you still run this business? Why do you have multiple different businesses? Why don't you just trade? And what you'll find is that trading doesn't need to take a ton of time, and a lot of the businesses not only add to my net worth, but you can help a ton of people with, and creates more of a fun experience with it, because what I'm gonna show you does not take a ton of time to do. We're gonna break down day-to-day checklist. So I'm looking at December 16th here, and all I did to start my day, so think pop in before 9:30 open, I'm creating 2 key areas on my chart where I'd look for potential trades. And I'm only doing this on the S&P 500. For those of you that follow me, you know I only trade one thing. And if you can make all the money you need off of one thing, then you don't need you don't need to spend the time doing a bunch of different things. And to me, trading is about creating more time freedom, not taking time away. So if I can do it in the most time efficient way, that's what I'm gonna do. But the first step, if you wanna live a trader type lifestyle, is you need to have a daily plan. And that's all I'm doing, is creating a daily plan. And as long as I do that before 9:30 open, that's totally fine. All I did was highlighted key areas, and what I would do before market opens is I'd go put alerts around these key areas. So 3,900 on the S&P, I'll go put an alert, stick it at like 3,902. Obviously you've seen prices come down underneath this now, but at the time it hadn't yet. So I'd put an alert, crossing down, 3,902, and I do that for each one of these areas. It saves me time. It means I don't need to stare at the screen the whole time. I just wait for those alerts to go off. The rest of my time when those alerts aren't going off is either spent doing back testing or running my trading education business, which I really, really enjoy. I spend more time doing that than I actually do trading itself, because trading itself does not take a ton of time. But that's step one. You want to make sure you have a daily plan, and it's all about just following the plan. I think most people, especially that are new to trading, think they constantly got to be scanning for different things if they don't have a trade right away. And trading is more about waiting, setting a trap, waiting for that trap to get hit, and then taking action on it. So it's more about patience and discipline than it is about constantly scanning for new things. So if I look at this particular day, I would have had an alert go off here, and here's my move that I'm looking for. So I was just looking for a retest and a bullish reversal, and this ended up being a losing trade, but we're not going to worry about that. So I'm looking for an entry in here. So, and this is kind of step 2, right? You create a daily plan. You should have a checklist on each one of your trades. So this is specifically what I'm looking for to determine whether or not I have a trade. So my day-to-day, I go through, create my daily plan levels, set alerts around them. When those alerts go off, I go through my checklist to see if I have a trading opportunity. I'm looking for a couple different things. I want to see price come underneath of these lows. I want to see a market shift, so price come back up. And I want to see an order gap here. And that's what I found right in here. And this trade was almost a winning trade, but still a loser because I had a long position in here. Top of this box. Oops, let's put that in there for you. The stop in here. Below this prior candle low, and I was too aggressive with my stop and ended up losing this particular trade just on this little wick right in here. So that is 100% my fault. My profit target would have been right in here. Probably could have had a winning trade, but it'll happen. You're not going to win them all. Second time I had an opportunity, it's way later in the day. So all this entire period until this second opportunity happens, I'm not doing anything. Just working on my other businesses, helping students, answering questions. Maybe I'll do some back testing if I have time to do that. Filming with Joe, recording more videos for you guys, but I'm doing other things during this period of time. So don't think that to be a pro trader or to be any kind of trader, you need to constantly be scanning the market. Have my next alert go off here. Again, same thing. Price comes underneath, I have a market shift, I have my order gap, and this time I had my winning trade. Okay, criteria on this one, another long position because that was my daily plan for today, looking to play a reversal in this bullish order gap over here, and I have a long position in here, stop below these lows, and 2-to-1 profit target right here. Okay, so 2 trades on the day, 1 lost, 1 won, but because I'm always working off of a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio, ended up making $2,500 on the day net profit. Okay. Now, that's what a day looks like in trading. Notice that didn't take a ton of time. Even the trades themselves, I wasn't in for very long. So the first one was a minute long, and the second one, you're talking like 12 minutes, something like that, from entry to exit. And the rest of the time was spent doing other activities. For me, that means business. That's what I like to work on. That's what I enjoy doing. For you, could be something else, could be part of your 9 to 5, whatever you want to do with that extra time. I'm pretty competitive. I like business and I like building things. And that's what I like to do with that extra time. Now, next piece of this, and this is super, super important, is if you're going to be a trader, you've created your daily plan, you've run through your checklist, and that planning criteria gets hit. Last step of this before your day is done is you need to record your results. The only way you can make progress is if you track what you've done. So as an example, this is my trade report. You'll see each one of those trades on here. One a loser, one a winner, net profit, and everything in here is tracked, okay? P&L, win ratio, everything that I do. And it's really important that you track everything that you do, because if you don't, you're never gonna be able to make improvements. Where I see new traders struggle is they don't know how to adjust and solve problems. They try certain things, as soon as it stops working, they don't know why, so they try something different, they blame the strategy and they bounce to the next thing, but they're never able really to get good at anything because they don't track the results, and once they track them, they don't know how to improve. So I always do this at the end of every single day. I record everything that I do, and in those spare moments during the course of the day, maybe I'm not working on business, maybe I don't have a trading opportunity, that's when I'll go through and review some of these results and see if there's some areas that I can improve on. And that's a constant process. Now, once you get to a point where you're doing well, you're making the income that you want, you don't have to do it very much, but it's still important that you track it and you create that habit. All right, guys, so market day is done. We did our trading, created our plan. I always kind of talk about finishing my workday, but 4 p.m. is usually when I like to get a workout in. Market closes at 4 p.m. Eastern time, so that's usually when I come down, get a workout in. I have a gym right here at the apartment complex that I use, just keeps it convenient. Not much of a morning workout guy, just do my best busy work in the morning, so I like to work out 4 p.m. post time. And I think it's all about creating balance. So I think the tendency whenever you're learning a new skill, whether it's trading, building a business, whatever it is to let other areas of your life fall out of balance, whether that be physically, mentally, in your relationships. And I try to keep that balance as much as possible. So I'll be in here every day, always get a workout in. I think it's important to create that kind of balance where you don't let things fall out of place just by focusing on a single thing. So get your workout in, doesn't matter what time it is, but that's part of my daily routine. All right guys, so we did our trading for the day, we wrapped it up, tracked our results, got a little workout in. Rest of my day is usually spent working on the business or spending some time with Becca, depending on if she's working late. So that could be 5 to 7. I'm either doing phone calls or jumping on Zoom classes with students, wrapping up some end-of-day business items. Or if Becca gets home a little earlier, I may be done by 7 or so, but works a little bit late. I may work till 10. I like to work, so some of you may think that's crazy, but I enjoy working and building businesses and doing that kind of thing. But I also promised that I'd walk you through just what else I spend money on, because I think there's this idea that if you're gonna be a trader, you're supposed to have this super fancy lifestyle and all this crazy shit. And the truth is, it doesn't really matter. You can spend money on whatever makes you happy. Trading is just a way to give you a little bit more of it so you can spend it on things that you like. So this is our apartment. It's $2,500 a month. Nothing super nicer for this particular area, but nothing super fancy. I actually just moved here. Rest of my bills, you talk about groceries, insurance, all that other stuff, add up to about $4 grand. And if I'm looking at where I spend the rest of my money, I'll tell you where I spend it. This right here, DoorDash. Eating out and ordering food. One, it saves me time. But two, I just like food. And that sounds kind of funny, but like you can spend money on whatever you want to. So for some people, they want to buy fancy cars, fancy houses, do all that kind of stuff, buy Rolexes, whatever. I like food and I like trips, and Becca and I do a lot of that. So we eat really good food. We eat food whenever we want, and we take trips whenever we want. So over the past year, we've went past couple of years, we went all over the place. And a lot of that's funded through trading. So we've went to like 8 different states on all kinds of different trips. Like she likes Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, so we saw both of them VIP. It's stuff like that that I like to spend money on. So it's less about the fancy stuff and more about the things that you can do with that extra money that maybe would make it feel a little bit stressful if that money wasn't there. So you're probably not gonna take, a trip every other month or so if you feel stressed about money. But if you have that extra trading income, that's really what I like to spend it on. We like to go hiking, we like to see different places, and we do a lot of that. And we can do a lot of that because of what trading's done and building wealth the way that I've approached doing it. And that's what you guys want to decide is what your version of happiness is, and it doesn't have to be fancy stuff. All right guys, so that's what a day in my life looks like. And obviously, I do it professionally, but it can work whatever way you structure it, however you want it to work. But don't think you need a bunch of fancy stuff to be successful with trading. Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff may change. I may get some extra monitors at some point, but it's not super necessary. I kind of shared with you the things that I like spending money on. It's not about creating a gazillion dollars so you can get a big penthouse. I mean, if that's something that you want to do, you can. For me, I like food and I like trips, and that's what I like to spend my money on, and I have all the money I need to do that, and trading's been a big part of that. So think about what you want it to do for you. It doesn't need to be something extravagant or something super fancy. It can be simple. It can be something extra that you do on top of what you already have. But think about what you want it to do for you, and most importantly, commit to the education around it. Commit to the process. It's a skill to be learned, not something to be just copied, but you can learn it. Anyone can learn it. You just got to put in a little bit of time, a little bit of focus to create those habits. So if you guys like content like this, you want to see more about my lifestyle or what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you want to see next, and we'll see you on the next one.